Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Classic. Today we are starting off in Stormwind because I said I was going to get better at using the auction house and actually using the bank to store some things that I want to keep, but that I don't need cluttering my bags. Because bag space is in fact money. Now what I found about the Thunderwood is that right now it's not selling for that much. I mean, not in the grand scheme of things. I could probably, by level 40, I'll be able to farm up 7 gold. I would rather do one of two things, and you guys can let me know if I'm totally crazy and I should put it up right now. I either want to hold on to it until I'm closer to level 40, which at the pace we're going won't be for a while. Because I think if I wait, a lot of people are already at 60, a lot of people are eventually going to have alts, and then the price for things like this is going to go up as people hit 60 and have gold and start alts. And I feel like if I wait till maybe like level 38 or 39 to check the auction house again, we might find that this has tripled or even quadrupled in value of the market unless it gets flooded. Like right now there's only 3 up here, which is actually probably still quite a bit. But I think I'm going to hold on to it, or second option, I can hold on to it for a future priest alt or warlock alt. But for now, it's going to go into our bank. And then we're also in Stormwind because we have to talk to Bishop Farthing at the Cathedral of Light, and we're going to give him Jitter's journal. And he might be able to shed some light on maybe who the Dark Riders were, or are, or Morbid Fell, or what we should do next. But let's go ahead. And we have our free bank slots, so we can buy a bag slot for 10 silver. We don't have any extra bags right now anyway. Let's just see if there's anything we want to put away. So maybe any older herbs that we don't have, or rather that we don't need, we could put in here. I don't have a lot of stacks of older herbs, so we'll put the wand away. And same thing with this, like we could sell this now, or we could hold on to it for the future and sell it when the market price is going to be higher for it, simply because people are going to have more gold in the economy. And that's basically all we have right now. Things like the wild steel bloom we don't need yet for our crafting. But we'll get better about using the bank. I do have a bank alt that I can mail stuff to at the end of every session. And I always just simply forget. So definitely valid things that I need to learn and get better at if we're going to ever have a mount to ride on. But let's head over to the Cathedral of Light. And we'll talk to Bishop Farthing and see what he has to say. And we haven't done a lot of walking around Stormwind, I don't think, so we'll take the route around the canals here. So many people around Stormwind have quests.
Greetings.
And I sometimes check them out to see if maybe they're going to lead into a dungeon quest. Like this one might.
Light bless you.
But yeah, there's a lot of quests around Stormwind to grab. It's just a matter of, is that going to sit in your quest log forever? Taking up valuable space. Alright, here's the bishop. Rest, brother. I could tell you have traveled far, and you bear a heavy burden. Can you tell me what casts that dark shadow over you? After reading the journal and hearing your intent, an evil taint has gained a foothold within the already beleaguered Duskwood. I thank the light we have a hero such as you to face it. But you must first prepare yourself for the coming trial, for the necromancer Morbid Fell is immensely powerful, and has cast dark enchantments about himself to protect him from physical assaults. If you are to defeat him, you will need a weapon that is proof against these protections. Yeah, we encountered him. He is incredibly powerful because he was a level 38 mob when we saw him in the graveyard. I didn't notice anything stopping us from dealing physical damage, but apparently we may need something for that as well. Three years ago, the third fleet of Kulturas sunk along the coast of the wetlands, an expansive marsh north of the dwarven kingdom of Ironforge. Aboard one ship was a load of light forged iron. This metal is precious to us, for items crafted from it strike with holy truth. If you are to face Morbid Fell, then you will need such a weapon. Go to Menethil Harbor and speak with my dwarven colleague, Glorin Steelbrow. If that lost metal can be found, he'll know where to look. Okay. We can do that because we have the flight point.
See you later.
And it should be pretty easy to jump on over there and find Steelbrow. That was in fact his name. And now this is orange though, which tells me if we go do this, we're probably going to end up facing off against mobs that are a little bit too high of a level. We also know that Morbid Fell himself is level 38. So, I think we're going to hang on to this for now. And we could head back and we could work on Worgen in the woods, because we know where they are. And we could find Mary and get the ghost hair for the hermit in the north. So let's go ahead and teleport back over and we will start working on that. And here we are back in Duskwood. I did decide to take the flight point over instead of blowing our Hearthstone. And I found this house that is south and east of Darkshire, nestled against the mountains here. And by the dots appearing on our map, I think this is where Mary is. Let's go ahead and work our way in here. I don't think we're under threat from any of the mobs around here. They're all green. Here she is. Just kind of living here, I guess. That's different. Oh, please, don't look at me. I tore out these eyes with my own hands, but I can still feel your gaze. I'm hideous, hideous. Please look away. What is this? A comb? It's lovely, and it glides through my hair as if it weren't the stiff, stringy horror that it is. Oh, if only I had a mirror. Take it! Take this comb away from me. I'm a monster, and no one will ever think me lovely again. Return the ghost hair comb. Okay, that's all it took. She ran her comb through her hair, ripped out some hair, and we don't have to kill her. I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with that. We might not have to fight anybody down here. And so are we taking that back? Yeah, we have to take that back to Madame Eva. We're right here, so let's just run up and do that real fast, because our next stop that we're making is going to be down in the Rotting Orchards. And that's going to be where the Nightbane Shadow Weavers are at, from what I remember.
Well met.
I sense you have seen Blind Mary. You have my comb? I can make a spool of ghost hair thread with this, and have a few strands to spare. Here are some coins for those extra strands. Here is your thread. It has 1,000 uses, from binding evil spirits to sewing life into inanimate objects. Okay, we have to bring this back to Ambercrombie,
Farewell.
who is north of here in that little shack we found. Maybe somewhere even right in this dark area on the map. But I feel like it also could have been just farther to the west. So I'm gonna hunt him down and give this back to him. I don't really know what his deal is. So they're saying that this thread can reanimate things or animate inanimate objects. What is he needed for? I get a weird vibe from Madame Eva too. Just because I don't know if she's just a fortune teller or if she's an actual mage. kind of weirds me out a little bit. Somebody's up to no good. But we'll find out. I'm going to find this guy and we'll see what he plans to do with this. And like the quest actually says, Ambercrombie is north, just a little bit north and a little bit east of the Ravenhill Cemetery. So here's his shack. Let's see what he has to say about this ghost hair thread.
What can I do for you?
Okay, I need to string the ghost hair thread along my door and my windows to keep out unwanted spirits. Delightful, this will do splendidly. Here, take this as payment for your honorable deed. Zombie juice. I need a bottle of a certain liquor, zombie juice. Tavern Keep Smith's at the Scarlet Raven Tavern in Darkshire should have some, and please hurry. These nights get cold, and I need that drink to put fire in my veins again. Okay, we're collecting reagents for this guy. And he's going to do something with all those reagents, and he's giving us some reasons why he needs them. Like, he needs to keep evil spirits out of this place. Okay. Who wouldn't need to do that? I guess. I don't see any windows, firstly. Just the door. And now he needs some kind of weird alcoholic beverage to put fire in his veins. Zombie juice. It just sounds a little reagent-y to me, so I feel like he's going to be doing something. I hope he's genuine, but we'll find out pretty soon. I did save our hearth, so we could just hearth back, but then we're going to run out here anyway. Nothing else we could really do out here. What I may do is go down to the Rotting Orchard after we hearth back. So we'll hearth back, we'll get the juice, and we'll finish up in the Rotting Orchard. And here's the Tavern Keep. Let's go ahead and
What can I do for
talk
you?
to him. We don't have to buy it. I think he's just going to give it to us. Oh, but he needs something first. If you bring me some rot blossoms, then I could brew you up a batch of zombie juice. Rot blossoms grow in strange places. In particular, I hear you could find them inside the skulls of skeletal horrors and skeletal fiends. Not that I've gotten close enough to look. The Ravenhill Cemetery and the Tranquil Gardens are both lousy with those skeletons. You may as well get rid of them while you're looking for rot blossoms. The town of Darkshire would be grateful. So we need 8 rot blossoms, and we've been down to the Tranquil Gardens before. Those are pretty close. We could head down here, we could knock out Tranquil Gardens, we could head over to Rotting Orchard and get our 6 Shadow Weavers slain, so that shouldn't be too hard. And that's the plan. So the quest stated we could find these rot blossoms by the Tranquil Gardens Cemetery. I'm assuming it's going to be a pickup off the ground. Although the quest also says that we could go ahead and kill the guys back here, but we already had a quest to kill them. We might take out a few of them to see if they drop the item in question. Or just to clear our way through, obviously. We're not going to use Rend on these guys. Oh, hello. I wonder if he was stealthing or just respawned. He must have just respawned. I don't think these warriors can stealth. Little first-person action for you. What is it pointing me towards here? Grave moss. Grave moss. Here it is. That'll help us skill up our herbalism. I'm really surprised he didn't aggro us. Lots of herbs back here, actually. The one thing I'm not seeing is rot blossoms. But they're probably something that's going to be hard to see unless we are mousing over it. Like most of the items found on the ground in Classic. I might as well come back here. Check things out. And grab these herbs. The quest says both areas are lousy with them, but we haven't seen one yet. Maybe it won't be in the cemetery itself. What's this area over here? Does it change names on us? Is this going to be an impenetrable wall of... Okay. I feel like that's going to drop us down. I really can't tell how far. Far enough. And no, now we're just back in the Worgen area. So this is not going to be where we find these things. Alright, I'm heading over to the Rotting Orchard. I looked around for quite some time over at the cemetery and didn't find any pickups on the ground. Now the quest states that they can be found inside the skulls of skeletal horrors and skeletal fiends. But there aren't any skeletal horrors or skeletal fiends over in the gardens. They're just warriors and mages. It says that they're both lousy with those skeletons. But those are warriors and mages, not fiends. So, I don't know. And there was a lot of people over there farming. I thought I killed quite a few. Could be a absurdly low drop rate, I guess. I'll check that out another time. I'm going to try to work our way back into the Rotting Orchard here. And let's just take out our 6 Shadow Weavers, since that's more straightforward right now. Look at this guy. I really want to bash that, but I can't. Get that one though. I'm assuming they're hitting us with shadow bolts. Let's try to find out. At least they don't seem to be running, and I could probably use rend on these guys if I'm being smart about it. These are called Nightbane Runners. They will probably run. Okay, well we found one Shadow Weaver. I don't have a huge interest in fighting runners if we don't need them. And unless I don't have to. Oh my, they're skinnable. Wow. I guess they're wild Worgen, so that's fine. It's not like skinning a player Worgen in current WoW. Don't want to be doing that. Okay. Well, there's a couple out here. Are there more possibly back in this cave? Or are we just working with the few out here? Let's track this one down. We'll get the shield bash off early. Oh, hooray. Let's go ahead and pop retaliation. And we'll stay on the Shadow Weaver. So we can do that and interrupt him. And then we'll start remembering to use rend again, because we haven't used rend for a long time. I'd love, since we blew retaliation, I'd love to be able to take this guy out without using a potion. Which might not be possible, I guess. Alright, excellent. So we don't want to pull more than one of these guys. Oh my goodness. Block, parry, dodge, everything. Let's eat. So it might be just a matter of hunting down the few Shadow Weavers that are out here. We could probably go back and find this area on the mini-map that might be some kind of cavern or cave. But if we do that, the mob density might be very high inside there, and we might get stomped like we almost just did. I feel more comfortable probably fighting the guys out here that are kind of isolated. I'd love it if we could hit more consistently. But these guys are at our level, so... Oh, and we leveled. At some point, we hit level 27. And the leveling ding animation is so subtle in Classic that I didn't even notice it, really. And leveling happens so infrequently, but that means that we have a talent point to decide on. I think we're just going to keep going into deep wounds. We could put another point into tactical mastery so we keep the 15 rage we get. Let's just finish that out. Or at least get it up to the 15 rage. So that we can charge, pop into defensive stance, but still keep the full 15 from the charge, if that makes sense. Damn it, he got that cast off, didn't he? Oh! Oh joy. Okay, well, we're probably dead. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna die. I'm gonna run. And I'm gonna hope that he just drops aggro. Because that's the only way we're gonna survive. I'm not gonna be able to beat this guy with the health that we have. He's probably never gonna drop. And if he does, we'll probably walk right into another mob by the time that happens. Maybe we'll get really lucky. It sure as hell doesn't seem like it. Let me guess, he's going to get the last hit and he needs to finish us. Pretty damn close. Alright, this area is jam-packed. Lot of mob density and high respawn rates. I did just get this blue back, which, you know, it's a back. It has stamina, the same amount we currently have. It has spirit on it, quite a bit of spirit. This is going to be something else I think I toss in the bank and hang on to either use on an alt or sell at a later date. But very cool. And there's what it looks like. It literally looks like a blanket. And we still need 2 more of the Shadow Weavers. The Shadow Weavers are actually easier to deal with than the runners. The runners kind of pound us. I think I have a bunch of silk now. I could be making silk bandages, but I kind of want to hold off until we find the proper first aid trainer. Because we're not going to get skill ups right now if I start making those silk bandages. We're maxed out. This will be our last one. We can safely grab him. And then I think we will be able to head back to town and turn this one in. My shield slam just doesn't quite come off a cooldown fast enough. There we go. Overall, with the blue, pretty successful. We didn't die. We had to run away once, but that is going to happen sometimes now. If we want to live, we're going to have to run sometimes. So I've taken us over to the Ravenhill Cemetery in hopes that we can get some rot blossoms from these fiends and horrors that are over here. since killing the skeletons over at the Tranquil Garden Cemetery didn't yield any actual items. Nor did I find any on the ground, so here we are. And by here we are, I mean we're right here at the edge of the cemetery. In case you were curious. Okay, still nothing, and worse than anything, our inventory's full, so let's get rid of the spider stuff I just picked up killing some spiders. Throwing more silver on the ground, much to everybody's disdain and my own. I just need to see the item drop once, and then I'll be okay devoting whatever time it takes to farm it, but so far we haven't even seen it, so trying to be hopeful that we'll see it soon. There we go. And so that's not a bad drop rate if it remains about 50%, although the respawn rate is still incredibly high in this area. Luckily for us, they're a little bit lower level than we are. So we should be okay if we're careful. Retaliation will be back up in 6 minutes in case we get ourselves into a spot of bother. They're not affected by deep wounds either. That's the worst part, is we have so many talents that we've spent. Look at that. That's just great. We have so many talents that we've spent that are useless against undead that don't have flesh. Which is the name of the game, I guess. If we were another class, we'd have an advantage possibly against skeletons, but we'd have a disadvantage somewhere else, so ultimately it all balances out. And I don't think I'm going to group for this just because it's a area where people could be doing a kill quest, they could be doing this quest, and I don't really want to share the items. And since we're a little bit higher level than these guys, we should be able to take them down on our own. I'm hoping for execute. There we go. Let's move ourselves for a minute. And we really need more food, actually. I can make some more bandages. I can make silk bandages if we have to. There's some food. Alright, so I will try to get the rest of these items. And we'll try to avoid mobs like this that we don't need at all. Just kind of a crazy respawn rate for them to respawn right where we just killed one. It's pretty intense, actually. Could get us into a lot of trouble if we're not careful. Okay, we got our last rot blossom. We're gonna hearth back to town. And we'll turn these two quests in. Oh, actually this one goes right here because he's going to make us the zombie booze we need for Ambercrombie. Good afternoon. You got the rot blossoms, and I'll tell Althea Ebenlock of the Night Watch that you were killing skeletons. Keeping the people of Darkshire safe is a grim burden for the Night Watch, and news that others are helping stem the tide of fiends in Duskwood is welcome news indeed. Here's your zombie juice, and be careful with this stuff. It's strong enough to raise the dead. It's strong enough to raise the dead, you say? Be careful. I'm telling you, Ambercrombie's up to something. No spoilers, please. The name Ambercrombie sounds familiar to me, and it really shouldn't, so that tells me that something bigger is probably going on with that character, but I don't want to know what it is if you guys already know. I will find out soon enough, I think.
With you.
Worgen in the Woods we've got done. Impressive. It would seem that you are capable enough to handle yourself. Perhaps a more suitable challenge could be found for one of your abilities. It is curious though, the Worgen seem to just appear out of thin air. But then, with all the other strange creatures that have moved across our borders, I suppose it's only one of many concerns. They didn't appear out of thin air, we learned that from Jitters and his journal and his story. More Worgen in the woods. You might have noticed some larger Worgen wandering around with the Shadow Weavers in the woods. From what we could tell, these dark runners make up the bulk of the Worgen numbers. On my rangings, I've also noticed that they have overrun the rotting orchard southwest of town. These Worgen are a bit tougher than the last you faced. Be on your guard. We have faced dark runners, and they are tough.
For the Alliance.
But we know that we can kill them. Alright, I think that's going to be a good spot for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll take the juice up to Ambercrombie, who is going to be north of the Ravenhill Cemetery. Before we do that, we're probably going to finish up Worgen in the Woods. We could probably grab a group for that. There was a lot of people down in the rotting orchards, and we'll be able to fight the dark runners down there. And with a group, they should be more manageable. So that's the plan for when we come back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any critiques, suggestions are always welcome. If you did like the video, please give us a like. It helps out a lot. And until next time, take care and wish me luck.